Welcome back, guys. We are here for Degens Dragons episode 4. I'm super excited. I'm again joined by Airball, AstralsFlame, VeggieWaggon, and our wonderful DM MoxRuby. Before we get into the gameplay, I just wanted to thank our sponsor, Cool Stuff Inc. They are sponsoring all of these episodes, so if you guys would like to keep them going, make sure you guys use code DGEN at checkout for 5% off all of your Magic and D&D needs. All right, MoxRuby, you want to give us a short little recap before we get into episode 4?
Absolutely. Welcome to episode 4 of season 2 of Degens and Dragons. We are on the plane of New Capenna, and our adventurers, who are plane jumpers, sort of understudy planeswalkers, have been given a quest, and the quest is to sort of discover the extraplanar chicanery that occurred when Ob Nixilis attempted his coup of all of Capenna. Something weird is happening. Not all is well in the land of Capenna, and they are on a quest to discover what it is. They're also on a quest, well, specifically Jen is on a quest from Ob Nixilis to also break into Lord Xander's vault, but we'll get to that when we get to that. Currently, as they have been following the trail of the magical and mystical multiplanar chicanery, they've made their way with Ginny Fey, I believe, to the Racer's Ring, where Jetmir is sort of holed up. And not only is Jetmir there, the leader of the Cabaretti, but also Myra the Magnificent, the owner and proprietor of the Astrotorium of Fun, who is not only a fascinating extraplanar person, but also knows Airball pretty well from their backstory. And so we pick up with the 6 of them in a room together underneath the Racer's Ring, but you might hear over the radio a brief advertisement telling you all about the location that you're in. Howdy, y'all. It's your old pal Jetmir here, Grandfather Cabaretti. And y'all know I love me a good time. And there ain't nowhere more fun than the Racer's Ring. A legendary New Capenna attraction, Racer's Ring is a mixed-use facility that features live chrome horse races and simulcast, high-stakes card games, and even a flea market. The Racer's Ring is just a stone's throw away from key Capenna landmarks, such as the Lost Angels Memorial Interlevel Skyport, Grand Metzio Locomotive Station, downtown Capenna, and the famous nightlife of the South Metzio. The track's facilities include a fully enclosed and air-conditioned clubhouse, an open-air grandstand that seats 7,000 spectators and overlooks the track, and casino-style card games. It offers 7 different card versions. So join me, Jetmir, at the Racer's Ring. It's the best bet in town.
Woohoo!
Brilliant.
I love our in-world advertisements. They are a wonderful addition.
Yeah. Very, very fun.
And good news, no potato.
Excellent.
All right.
So as that plays in the background, you find yourself in a relatively comfortable clubhouse suite with no exposed windows. This is underground, under the track, and the 4 of you find yourselves in a room with some dead bats on the floor, if I recall correctly, and Myra as well as Grandfather Cabaretti himself, Jetmir. What would you like to do?
We're screwed. So if I remember correctly, where we left off is I convinced the girl that Jetmir sent us to take her to him. We did that, and I was expecting Ob Nixilis to show. Ob Nixilis did not show, and now I'm worried that he will know who I am, because I know there's a warrant out for, not a warrant, but a bounty on my head, and I think everybody knows I'm Ob Nixilis' henchman, but I'm not sure, so here's to hoping he doesn't recognize me. I'm going to look at Veggie, because I feel like Veggie, he's hiding with the girl. He's hiding with the the entertainment.
With Kitty. It's Kit Kanto, not Ginny Faye.
Yes,
That's
Kit
right.
Kanto.
That's right.
So I'm gonna just look to Veggie and hope that maybe he will take the lead here.
Yeah, so Gustav is definitely going to look back and just go, I don't know what I very, and then he's going to do.
Collect yourself, son. Get your words together.
Stupid. He's gonna reflexively like body change into the closest person or thing, which is Kit Kanto.
Nice.
So it's not a great replication.
Are you using disguise self, or what ability are you using?
No, it's just not any particular ability. Like this is not a good.
Got it. Okay.
Like it's just like it's just like a weird little like nervous stress reflex. He's like some colors on his body are going to change to match what like Kit is wearing, and you might see like maybe a slight caddish like expression on his face, but it's not like he's trying to copy her. It's just like, oh, I feel weird. Now we're just gonna make this more awkward.
Got it. So it's less that you're changing yourself to be Kit Kanto, and more that your Crypsis, your shellfish skin is changing color to mimic the pattern of Kit Kanto. So It's like when you have a corgi that's mixed with a German Shepherd. It just looks like a corgi cosplaying as a German Shepherd.
Yep.
You just look like bad camouflage, like or maybe it's like the original PlayStation Hagrid, where it's just like a wall and then a face on it. It doesn't look good. But you do this as your reflexive nature, and Jetmir's trying to calm you down as you do this, and he goes, "Oh shoot, dang! That's a cool trick you can do there, son. You all right? You gonna be? I can still see you. I don't know if you know. I can still tell which one's which. It's gonna be all right. Calm down. Collect yourself."
Yes. All right, and he's gonna collect a little bit. Some of the color starts to fade back to his original self, and he'll say, yes, that was just how my people like to greet you. Yes, of course. Hello, and it is nice to meet you, Mr. Gat.
I mean, everybody knows who I am, buddy. It's all right. Don't worry about it. I understand I'm a bit of an intimidating presence, but you're in my house. You're in my establishment. So, no, while you're here, unless you mean me harm, no harm is going to come to you. So calm yourself down. Everything's going to be all right. Get yourself a glass of whatever it is you drink, and let's hash this out. Because y'all showed up at my panic room, and somebody tried to kill me a couple hours ago, maybe a day ago or whatever. So, everybody chill out. Everybody, let's start with some introductions. Hi, everyone. My name's Jetmir. I'm the Nexus of Revels. You might know me as Grandfather Cabaretti. My face is on the sign out front. This is my compatriot, Kit Kanto, the premier soprano and alto in all of Capenna. And Kit gives a curt nod and curtsy. And this is my friend Myra. Myra is a purveyor of carnivals and games, and we were having a bit of a meeting after the excitement of earlier in the evening. And Myra, who's been looking at Airball the whole time, finally is able to glance away. And says a very pleasant. It's nice. It's nice to meet you all. I think, as long as you think it's nice to meet us. Now, y'all are in my house, so it would be courteous of you to introduce yourselves.
Refresh my memory. Did she call me by name in front of Jetmir, or was that just in the video?
I think that she called you by name in the moment, but it was sort of under her breath. So Jetmir may not have registered it.
Okay.
I also think at the end of the last episode, I said my name, that it was something else.
Yes, you said that your name was not Jen. That's correct.
I don't remember what it was, though.
I don't remember what it was either.
Great. I'm going to make up a new one.
Fabulous.
And I'm going to say it was... Oh,
Yes,
Samantha. HD knows. Wow, you guys are great. My name...
Samantha.
Yeah, okay, cool. I'm going to stick with Samantha.
Samantha, it is a pleasure to make your acquaintance, and he will offer to take your hand.
I'm going to take it.
And he's going to pause before he does this, making sure that you're okay with this. But he looks like he's going to kiss your hand.
Sure.
All right, he's going to gently maintain eye contact, kiss your hand. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, Miss Samantha.
Okay, next.
So I'll go forward and I'll say, my name is Airball, and I'm going to be looking at Myra the whole time. Like, it's nice to finally meet all of you, some more than others.
Good to meet you as well. And for the first time, he'll register that there's something happening here between you two, but he's not going to make any mention of it.
So I'll take up, assuming I'm like laid up against back of the wall, I'll kind of get up and I'll try to slowly walk, and I'll go to do a fist bump and say, Jetty, it's nice to meet you. The name's Yum, Riveteer Fight Ringer and reporter to Agnes and best friend of Henzi.
Hey, that's a good bunch of connections, and he'll give you a fist bump and say, you're a fighter. I like that. We might have to talk about business later, depending on if any of us get out of here alive.
More than happy to.
Hey, I like the sound of that. Well, your opening acts have gone, buddy. Let's hear the main course.
my name is Bruce Tav, and it is so very nice to meet you. And he's going to put his hand over top into Jetmir's hand and then pull it up to his face for the kiss from Jetmir.
Sure. And he will look a little taken aback, but will oblige. And then wipe the little bit of seawater from his mouth and say, all right, well, now that that's all out of the way, we got some pleasantries done. What y'all doing here?
We were just bringing Kit Kanto to you.
I greatly appreciate that.
We tried to, take the long route and make sure we were not followed, but apparently we were unsuccessful. I'm a little, obvious, I guess, with my slightly larger stature. This one, too.
Well, yeah, y'all stick out like sore thumbs, but that's all right. I find that adventurers tend to have a little bit of a ragtag image about them. It's tough to be stealthy when you're, as practiced in adventuring as it seems y'all are. You got here safe, and I greatly appreciate that. If I can be of any service to you, please do let me know. It does not seem like he, A, knows who any of you are, B, cares, and there's no ill will here, and so it's kind of anachronistic to how you thought that this may have gone down, but he certainly is playing it off if he's keeping any secrets.
Yeah, my number one goal or hope is that she will forget I said Jetmir set me. And I'm hoping she'll just be like, oh, I'm safe, and then just go get white girl wasted.
Yeah.
That's
She's pretty shell-shocked as it is, so she's not taking part in the conversation.
Great. So yeah, I'm just gonna say that thank you so much for welcoming us into your hideout here. We were at your other place when we were attacked by an assassin of some sort. I'm not really sure why they were there, and that was when we ran into Kit Kanto and decided to try to escort her here. She was locked in the back room with a couple of people and kind of stuck back there.
Oh yes, she was with her her assistant. I forgot that the assistant is also here with the giant case, but she's over helping Kit calm down. And so he nods and says, "All right, well, that's very kind of you. I didn't know anyone was left at the ballroom. Yeah, it was definitely an exciting party. Were you all at the party, or did you show up after?"
We showed up after.
All right. What are you investigators? Part of the police force? What's going on?
No, Yam here, he knows a lot of the construction workers that were there repairing some of the damage that was done. And so we went with Yam to see what was going on. We were interested in all of the commotion.
Yeah, I had no idea what's going on. I'm just at a loss, and at this point, for the first time, Myra is going to step forward. Myra is going to put a hand on Jetmir's arm, and this will cause him to quiet a bit. And she will say, unfortunately, I have probably a little bit more insight into what happened. I am sad to say that during the fracas, whoever started it, I didn't really see who attacked us or what was going on, but the defensive measures that we had in place triggered, which are good, protected me, protected Jetmir, but something else changed. And I've noticed that there is some difference in my people and in my in the Astorium since I've come here. And it seems that they took the opportunity of the chaos to make their move as well. And so while I'm away, I think that the Astorium has been put under new management, so to speak. I don't have contact with anyone inside right now. I wish I could give you more information, but well, actually, I can tell you how to get information, if you would be open to it.
Sure.
So the Astorium is controlled magically by some lodestones, 5 of them, in fact, that are within the Astorium, and if they're brought back to me, I can see what's going on and correct whatever needs to be corrected. If they're in the hands of someone else, then unfortunately there's nothing much that I can do. So if you would be open to it, I would quite like it if you would venture to the Astorium and take a look for me.
I mean, I have no idea what the Astorium is. Airball, Yam, Veggie, do you guys know anything about that? I was just here bringing Kit Kanto back.
Never heard of it.
So I'll ask Ruben, like, what do you think? Obviously, I have some history with the Astorium, but I don't remember it. Is it possible there's some latent knowledge of it, or am I just...
I would say that there's probably some latent knowledge. Let's do a flashback scene to your days at the Astorium. How does that sound?
Sounds great. Let's do it.
We fade, wavy fade, to a beautiful, sunny carnival day in a pastoral, idyllic setting. The sun is shining, wisps of clouds are in the sky, rolling hills are in the background, and on the edge of a forest, there are big top tents There are carnival rides. There are trailers. There are booths set up full of games and prizes. There is the noise of children laughing, parents having fun, carnival barkers shouting through the air, and at a stage featuring an animatronic band. Some of the features of this band, one being a bear, one being a what appears to be a chef person. The band leader appears to be a clown. And off to the sides of the stage, there are several mechanical people, mechanics, some of whom are mechanical people, and one of those is Airball, sort of operating as a roadie for this band, who is performing on the stage. And they are playing all the hits in front of 100 spectators, mostly children with parents, and they're having a grand old time watching this performance. The performance wraps up, the audience claps and begins to file out, and the animatronics are sentient, and so they get up from their seats and they move from their spots and they begin to come off stage. The chef who plays the drums walks over and gets their shoulder oiled, begins to complain a little bit. It seems like my shoulder is out of whack. I need to get it replaced, maybe. The lead singer, or the band leader, the clown, who you know is N Buttons, comes off the stage and says, "Well, that was another great performance, everybody. Well done. Make sure you get oiled up for the next performance. We're back on in 2 hours. I'll be in my trailer." And he wanders off, and other members of the band come over and ask for fixes and lug nut replacements and various things like that.
I can't wait to find out what Airball's performance is.
Yes.
Yeah. So Airball, you are here. You are with the roadies, but you also perhaps have another job, if you so choose, within the Astrotorium of Fun. How do you view yourself in this place?
I could see myself doing repairs on other robots, making sure that their neural nets are functioning correctly, doing repairs as needed, handling their lug nuts.
Oh boy. So a mechanical bear person comes over and says, "Hey, I think I've got some gunk buildup in the side here. If you don't mind taking a look," and opens up a furry door hatch that exposes ribs of metal and wires. And you see quite a bit of dusty buildup like you would see in the back of a computer hard drive.
Stuart, this is the third time this week. What are you doing that's getting you so gunky?
I mean, I don't ask you about your personal life, man. I'm just trying to get through the day.
All right. Allow me to blow you, and I'll take off the pneumatic pump from my arm and blow around inside of him.
Perfect. And that makes a nice wind tunnel inside, gets all the dust, and goes through the air. And the bear takes a nice big inhale. Feels like I was made just yesterday again. Thanks again, Airball.
Before you go, though, it's probably a good idea for me to run some tests on your neural net. We've been performing for a while. We've been at this for a while. I want to make sure nothing's degraded. There's no viruses or any signs of decay.
Hey, anything for you. I get it. And turns around and opens a hatch on the back of their head and exposes the nuclear center of the brain of this mechanical being.
Okay. And we'll connect to it, Borg assimilation, Battlestar Galactica Cylon style, and start running some scans and see if we notice anything out of the ordinary.
Great. Go ahead and make an intelligence check and add your proficiency. This would be something I would call a technology check. But we don't really have a technology stat in Dungeons and Dragons. But if you did, you would certainly be proficient in it. So go ahead and make an intelligence plus proficiency check.
Intelligence plus proficiency, so we've got a 23.
Okay. Yeah, your scan brushes past all of the usual suspects. There are no viruses accidentally picked up. There are no Trojan horses hidden inside of the brain. There's the usual memory buildup of detritus and flotsam that happens when you write and rewrite and delete and redelete programs like songs and jokes and conversations, but nothing untoward within the brain here. With a 23, though, you do notice that, and you've seen this in many of your fellow compatriots, not everything in here is programmed. Not everything is code. There is something else happening here. There is magic. Something that it cannot be technologically explained. And pretty much everyone who works at the Astrotorium of Fun, when they are within the Astrotorium, this arcane energy is magnified. It is furthered when it's within range of other beings like itself, and you can tell if you wanted to flavor it as something that wasn't just ones and zeros, as something that was explainable, you might say that it's love. You might call it family, and that when surrounded by other beings such as itself, this being is more than the sum of its parts, and you know that that's what it's like to be within the Astrotorium.
Okay.
Thanks, buddy. I really appreciate it. Everything's good in there?
Yeah. Defrag a day keeps the doctor away.
All right. Hey, I love that. That's great stuff. See you in a couple hours. And he will wander off. You are left vaguely alone here in the Astrotorium of Fun for a little while. But you have some friends within the Astrotorium. Tell me, other cast members, who might some of the Astrotorium friend group include?
I am a human. I am the one that delivers all of the oil, sort of like the sandwich girl at the, at any given office building. I walk around with my little cart, and people can buy the oil and the backstage bits.
Fabulous. So you see the oil girl hanging out, refilling some drums, perhaps, as well as
the sentient cart that she's pushing around.
Perfect.
Bob Van Houten Eisenhower Eiffel 65er Niner the Third, the sentient couch.
Perfect. So,
where do you guys come up with this shit?
There's you don't understand what's happening up in here.
I don't
like.
I have no I didn't realize how little imagination I had until I met the two of you.
Oops.
So, a couch, a cart, and the oil purveyor are hanging out at their usual haunt. Behind many of the stalls, behind the ticket counter, and the many of the trailers, in the back of house, one might say, away from the din of the action. You're able to walk past many of your favorite haunts around the area, from the main stage where the assembled ensemble performs, You walk past the Adventureland, which is operated by the Swiss family Goblinson, which is a series of tree houses, and there's like a steamboat ride and lots of stuff like that. You move past Quincy Q Cube's Gelatinous Jamboree, which has ball pits and bouncy houses and all manner of trampolines and things like that. And of course, you walk past something that you may be familiar with, and your compatriots will also be familiar with, which is the Titanic Topiary Treehouse, where children are having a wonderful time riding a leafy green T-Rex around a ring. And you're able to come to the back of the house. And among the people who are there is another human, a human you don't yet recognize. And she looks at you and she says, just the man I was hoping to see. How are you today?
Greetings. I'm sorry, have we met?
No, we haven't. You can call me Captain, though. If that's all right with you. I was just chatting up some of your compatriots here.
Captain, is that a rank?
It is. It's a rank, and I was hoping you might be interested in a conversation about joining me in some adventuring.
My responsibilities here are vast. I am responsible for keeping the entire cast greasy, but I am open to hearing your suggestions.
Well, I'm a member, now that we're all here, now that the four of you are all here, I'm a member of an institution called the Order of the Widget. And we are looking for able-bodied recruits to be able to join us on our adventures, and make sure that we can keep the peace in the world against the other factions that might see chaos brought to the galaxy.
What are these other factions? Why have I never heard of them?
Well, there's a good reason why you've never heard of some of them. The agents of Sneak, for example, are very secretive, and it would be surprising, to say the least, if you had ever heard of them.
And you have a ship and a crew?
Absolutely. We have the Skull Saucer, which is our main mode of transportation, fastest vehicle in space, and, well, we need someone to take care of it. Keep its engines running.
Take a look at it. I can't commit to leaving just yet, but I'm happy to take a look at your ship before the next performance.
So she will lead the four of you to her vessel. It's a beautiful vessel, saucer-shaped. And it's not like anything you've ever seen before. I'm not sure you've ever seen a space ship, but it is ship. It is not ship-shaped. It is a saucer. Although it has engines and the telltale signs of technology as well as magic put together.
Okay, and it looks to be in good shape, or it's...
It's okay. It's not... I mean, it is certainly in good shape for what it is, but given your keen eye, you know that it can be better.
Okay. So I'll ask her then, what would the number one priority be for me in the next couple hours to fix?
Well, our steam flogger has been malfunctioning recently. I don't really know exactly what the problem is. I'm not a mechanical-minded person myself. I'm management, you know. But if you could take a look under the hood and see what you could do, I would be most appreciative. And maybe we can have a conversation later about your future with us.
Okay. I'll attempt to make the repair and see if I can access their diagnostic systems and maybe a few other things.
Great. So you and with your supply of oil in the sentient cart with your helpers, you're able to crawl up into the engine and make. Go ahead and make a sleight of hand check for me. At advantage, because you know what you're doing.
Sleight of hand check at advantage. We've got a 15.
15. Okay. Yeah, you can tell that there are some bits that are rusted. There are some bits that are definitely getting gunky. And you're able to begin work on cleaning those out. And while you're in there, Myra walks over and begins talking to the captain. She says, "Hello, I'm not sure. I know we've not met, but I recognize that you're Order of the Widget. I have many friends within the order myself." And they have a conversation that you can overhear, in which the captain sells Myra on the idea of hiring you away from the circus. And Myra knows you're there. And Myra looks up and sees you doing your work. And she has a look of pride on her face. And she smiles and she says to the woman, "Well, it would be all right with me, but it's ultimately up to him." And Myra walks over to you and she says, "It's quite the opportunity, Airball. What are you thinking?"
Wow. Myra, we've been together for so long working on this performance. And there's so much magical attachment between everyone here. Do you really think it's a good idea for me to leave?
The Astorium is a place for people who need a home. And not everyone stays forever, and some people go away and some people come back. And I think that it's good for you to leave and see what the universe is like. Someday. But if you don't want that day to be today, it doesn't have to be today. But it's a home for people who need a home, and I encourage you to be free. To be free to make your own choice and make your own decisions.
But if I leave, who will take over the production effort? And who will keep the 5 backstreet robots working correctly?
Myra thinks about this and she says, "Yeah, well, we will certainly miss you. But there's always other folks who want to join the circus. Other helpers from other departments, the Ferris wheel gremlins could pick up the slack. Some of the vampires that work underneath the tilt-a-whirl can maybe work a day shift if we give them enough sunscreen. So we can make it work.
Okay.
Don't worry about us. I want
Right.
the best for you."
Okay. Then I think I'll go, but make sure that everyone knows when I leave that the optimal temperature on stage is 98 degrees, and they have to keep themselves in sync with each other at all times. And that's all the references I have. I'll go.
We love you, Airball, and the Astorium will always be home for you for when you want to take a break from adventuring. And we will fade back into the present, and that memory is with you as you and Myra are in this conversation together. For the first time, you've seen your old boss, who is like family to you, and a place that you once called home appears to have fallen into some sort of disrepair.
I think I'm still reluctant to have that conversation in front of Jetmir, though.
Okay.
I would like to find some time alone with her, but I don't think I'm ready to do that yet.
Myra looks around at all of you, looks at you, Airball, and says, I need your help.
I think I can help you out.
The base of operations for the Astrotorium of Fun we set up in the Chaldea, just underneath the Metzio, but we wanted to keep it a little bit out of the prying eyes from those who might not, approve of our being here. And also, we like to keep it a little bit on the cheaper side, so we like putting it in a little bit of the less well-to-do side of town. We've set up shop in between many of the girders near the top of the Chaldea, and all of the usual haunts that you remember are there. The goal would be to find the keys, to find the 5 lodestones that keep the operation running. And if you're able to find them and put them together, you would almost certainly be able to discover if there was some sort of issue going on with them.
Do you have any idea where these might be?
Well, we usually keep them in the 5 corners of the Astrotorium. So one will be at the ensemble stage, presumably somewhere backstage, somewhere near there. Last I saw, there was one within the T-Rex garden. One is almost always at Quincy's. And based on how big it is, there's usually one within Adventureland. And the last one typically is by the ticket booth and the prize wall.
Yeah. I'll turn to the group and I'll say, this is important to me, but I will not ask you to come if you don't want to. I know you have your other tasks, but I have to help.
As we say in the Riveteers, any help in need is a friend indeed.
I have no idea what's happening. I thought we came to bring Kit Kanto here, and we're being sent on another mission? But, I mean, you have always helped me, Airball, so sure.
Yes, I feel very uncomfortable here, so I will also go with you.
Jetmir will pipe up and say, "Hey, you don't need to feel uncomfortable here. You're an actor. You know, we're the same type of person."
Gustav immediately lets out a little ink.
Oh, God.
Okay, we're gonna have to clean that up later.
It's like from Finding Nemo, and she's like, "Oh, yeah. You made me ink."
Yeah,
so cute.
So Myra will look at you and she will say, if you're able to collect the lodestones together and decipher what's going wrong with the Astrotorium, I believe that will probably lead you to what's going wrong overall. Why the attack happened, why things are the way they are.
Yes. So out of character, real quick, my confusion is that I don't know how we gave the impression that we were trying to find out what was going on overall. Like, it was like we were kind of passerbys and we found Kit Kanto cowering in a corner, so we decided to bring her to...
Right.
So it is interesting to me that I'm then now getting this epic quest, but I'm happy to go on it.
So there's 2 reasons for this. One is... we have 10 episodes. I kind of got to step on the gas. Another the in character reason is Jetmir found adventurers, Myra found adventurers. They have an adventure,
Great.
so that's where we're at.
I also think, again, I'm not going to convey this to you guys yet, but like this is also just a convenient way for us to get out of this room safely. So another thing we can do on the way to said mission, should we choose to accept it, is go tell Obnixilis where they are. But yeah, I think that this is a safe thing to do to get out of this room.
Agreed.
Yeah, that was very much where I was at, just not good at hiding it.
So my question was, these locations, these are here on Capenna, the locations that they gave us?
Yes, these locations are within the Astorium, which is in Capenna.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking it was like the other unworld, but this makes sense.
The Astorium of Fun is visiting Capenna.
Okay.
I see.
So, which is what is causing the planner rupture ridiculousness to begin with.
All right. I like this mission. Yam, what do you think?
I'm down for it, especially with Inky over here. Someone's got to look after the little dude.
Yes, what he said.
Okay, I'm going to let Airball. He's getting this mission. I'm going to let him lead.
Okay, let's go check out the T-Rex garden.
Great. So, given the directions that you have, you are able to set off from the Racer's Ring. Jetmir is only too happy to let you leave. Kit remains behind, as does Myra. And they wave you off and wish you good luck on the adventure. It is not a difficult journey to get to the Astorium, located within New Capenna. You begin making your way across town and below the street level of the Metzio to the surface roads underneath the sort of like Chicago, where there's a road underneath the ground, or Old New York if you watch Futurama. There's grime and dirt, but it's also home for Yam, and you've all at least been here somewhat familiar with underground travel. And you find yourself walking in a somewhat quiet area, not a ton of construction, not a ton of people living there, a little bit older, and clinging kind of upside down and askant sideways, almost like a light fixture attached to the underside. You find the Astorium of Fun, a clear hemispherical pocket world of Myra the Magnificent's Astorium of Fun. And it's right here in front of you, and all of the little adventures that can happen are within. If you did not take a long rest previous, feel free to take a long rest before we begin our adventure within the Astorium. And you are able to make it up some rafters and some scaffolding to the entrance, and once within the Astorium, you are part of the artificial gravity here. And you find yourself walking on the floor of what you are within the bubble, but if you look past the bubble, you can see deeper into the Chaldea. As to an outside perspective, you would be walking on the ceiling. The Astorium is presently abandoned. There are no signs of life presently seen within the Astrotorium of Fun. However, you do hear vaguely over some loudspeakers some of the... In addition, you also hear like creaking of the log, the sort of Viking ship ride, the swings of the Ferris wheel, and lilting over the silence, you hear a familiar tune in the background, which sings, "Myra's is the place to be. It's the most magnificent for you and me. Myra's is number one. Astorium of fun for everyone." And it plays a little bit crackly, a little bit not perfect, but you can hear it from the loudspeakers as you walk past these abandoned stalls and empty rides. Over the main thoroughfare past the ticket booth, you walk past some of the smaller rides and attractions on the way to the Titanic Tyrannosaurus Topiary Treehouse. You arrive, and it is a round, sort of fenced circle, a post in the middle, and there is a rope leash. There's a large, empty collar sitting in the middle of the circle, where presumably a T-Rex would be, but is not here. What would you like to do?
So I walked past a T-Rex in my flashback.
Yes.
Would I have been able to identify that T-Rex as the same one that we fought earlier?
I would say, if not the same, certainly a replacement T-Rex. You are not... I mean, it would be the T-Rex who would be here.
Okay. So probably not much danger then.
Sure.
Well, what's the nature of the thing that we're looking for again? They were keys? They were something like that?
So they were described as keys, and they were described as lodestones. You probably have seen these before. They are a collection of sort of bocce ball-sized spheroids. And they're probably about 4 inches in diameter, and they are... there's a white one, there's a blue one, there's a black one, there is a red one, and there is a green one. And these are the magical lodestones that, when gathered, hold this place together.
Okay.
Oh, I see what you're going for, like Power Rangers.
Yes, very
Okay.
much so.
Okay, so there are 5 locations. Should we find the first one so we all know what they look like and like how they were hidden or whatever, and then we break into groups of 2 to try to grab the others?
I think that's a good idea. Jen, if you need backup, I can go with you when we split.
Great.
Um,
Although the only thing to that is you and I are the tanky ones and they're both the squishy ones. So maybe you and I should be walking in the front of both groups.
I think we can take the front and then do an easy split when we know it's safe.
Sounds good. Airball, where do you think this first magical key doohickey is?
Well, normally, if my memory is from the flashback is correct, it would have been around the top of that pole in the center of the ring.
Yeah.
It seems reasonable to me that it may have fallen down and rolled away somewhere. So let's walk up to the center and see if we can find any visual evidence about where it may have gone.
Can we see the top of the pole and know that it's not there?
You can see the top of the pole, and you can see that it's there.
It
Oh,
is
that it's
there.
there. Oh, okay. I'm so
is
good
there.
at this. Okay.
You're good. No worries. You just predicted what my thing was going to be, and so I was surprised. Atop the pole, it is about a 20-foot tall pole there is one of the lodestones, like a beacon on top of the pole.
Who has the best climb?
I have a bit of an idea, actually, that may not involve any climbing.
Please.
They used to call this the drop and stop back in the day. But hey, Gustav, how's your aerodite? How can you fly?
I am not usually the flying type.
Perfect. That's what everyone else always says. I'm gonna just kind of go to grab him around and just kind of explain the situation. So this is gonna be a 1, a 2, and then you're gonna say 3, and in like magic, you're gonna act like practice with me. We're breathing exercises here. Deep breath in, let it out, and you're gonna go. Right?
Wait, why would I? What if I do not say 3?
3, got it. And I'm gonna.
Perfect. Go ahead and make an athletics check at advantage.
Which one of us?
Well, so Yam, make an athletics check at advantage for throwing the squid person. And Gustav, go ahead and make a performance check to see how well you can become a bullet. And make yourself aerodynamic.
I need a
22.
die.
I can roll for you.
22 is a high number.
And
Hope it's high enough.
Gustav, is Gustav also at advantage?
Yes, Gustav, go ahead and be it. Because of the coaching, you guys are like in sync together. It's perfect. Although in sync is supposed to be on the other stage, but you get it. So
Bye, Veggie.
there we go. Perfect.
Veggie got a 10 and a 21.
So
so
over
27
a 20
with
for both of you. You are very easily able to Gustav Ball special throw Gustav up to the top of this pole. Gustav, you see the lodestone as it was described to you at the top of the pole. And now I'm going to have you make a grapple check,
Ooh, okay.
which I believe normally would be at advantage.
Okay.
But
Uh,
because you're going 35 miles an hour,
Yeah.
I'm going to cancel out that advantage.
I
So
think that's fair.
You're just going to do a straight roll to see if you can grab onto this thing.
Yeah, what do I add to that?
This would be acrobatics, athletics.
Well, yeah, we'll
Sleight of
definitely
hand.
take the acrobatics. That's a +6 at least.
Okay, so you get an 8, which is not a failure, but it is not a success. You are able to knock the ball off of its kilter. You are not able to grab it. The rest of you see the lodestone begin to tumble off of the top of the pole, and also see Gustav begin plummeting back towards the earth.
I'm going to try to catch
towards
the orb
ceiling.
and not Gustav.
I'll go for the dive on Gustav.
I
Who's-
too will try to catch
Who's
the
doing what?
Orb.
Great.
orb.
Gustav.
I will be falling.
Great. Gustav, you are at the mercy of your compatriots here. I'm going to have everyone except for Gustav make a dexterity saving throw to try to catch the thing they're trying to catch.
So, is it just plus your dex?
Dexterity saving throw is plus your dex, and if you have a bonus to your save, then you add, or if you're proficient in that save, then you'll add your proficiency to the save. I believe for paladins, you do not have a dexterity proficiency in your save.
Great. I rolled
I got
a
an
4.
8 trying to catch the orb.
Only
Okay.
a 4. Goodbye, orb.
4.
13 for Gustav.
Okay. So, bad news and worse news time.
God.
The bad news is, Gustav, you are going to take some falling damage. and it's only 5. You're going to take 5 falling damage. As Yam is able to help you not completely beef it. The worst news, we got an 8 and a 4.
Yep.
The ball falls and cracks. So it is damaged.
Is it something that I think I can repair?
Probably. Not here. Not with what you have in front of you. Unless, well, tell me, what would you do to repair it?
Well, I know that I was responsible for repairing the Backstreet robots back in the day. I know where their pit stop would have been. I can probably take it there and find more specialized equipment.
Okay. I would say that that is a reasonable thing for you to do, but presently it is cracked.
Okay. One down.
But yeah, you have the T-Rex Gardens orb, which was the whitish yellow orb.
Okay. Okay, well, I guess that's 1 down. Do you guys want to split up, or should we travel together?
Split up for more ground.
All right.
Split up.
I think I am going to go with Gustav. I feel like he might be safer with me.
Yeah, I also he's probably not going to take another throw.
So
Fair.
Gustav and I will go to the Swiss Family Adventure.
Okay. The Swiss Family Goblinson Adventureland is very easy to be seen from here. There is a sort of like a mixture between a steamboat and a spaceship that sort of rings around a little island that has fantastical trees with rope bridges connecting them. There's a little bit of a stand that probably sells food and drinks and souvenirs and other attractions. It is dark and dense in trees in there, but that is where that attraction resides.
Okay. Do you guys want to just do one scene with us two and then the next scene with you two? Sure.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
All right, Gustav, let's go. Where do you think they would hide this orb?
So what do we see?
A ship boat.
So as you approach the area, you see a place that is designed to look like a sort of like a forested island that not necessarily a deserted island, but a forgotten kind of island. It is overgrown. There are paths, but it is densely foliated with bushes and trees, and it's very difficult to see deep into the darkness of the woods. Around the Adventureland, there is a steamboat slowly meandering its way, the wheel on the back slowly turning through the air as it churns around the island. There's a tire swing hanging off of one tree. There are rope bridges connecting the various trees. You imagine that there are tree houses within, and other attractions.
Okay. I think that Gustav, I think that the first orb was like sort of center of the attraction, not being hidden, very plain sight. So I'm guessing maybe in like the wheel of the ship.
That makes sense to me. and I think that you should take the lead.
All right. And I'm taking off. So you said the ship was going around, so I'm going to go, I guess, to the dock.
Okay.
And try to get on.
Excellent. It is not going to stop at the dock, so I'm going to have you make either an athletics or an acrobatics check to attempt to board the vessel.
Athletics it is. 22.
Excellent. You are deftly able to jump from the dock onto the deck of the ship. You are now aboard a fine riverboat.
I'm also trying to follow.
Great.
14.
Okay, 14 is enough. You're able to, not quite as deftly and as perfectly able to land, but like an octopus landing on the deck of a ship, you land on the deck of a ship. As you do so, you hear noises from within the forest begin to hoot and holler and chitter and crack, as emerging from the woods, there is a family of goblins that look insane. They look crazed. They look... I'm not sure you've dealt a ton with... Oh, no, you have. Jen, specifically, you've dealt with goblins in the very recent past. These goblins are, wearing spacesuits, but more importantly, they don't have life behind their eyes. They appear animated in some way. They don't appear to be fully of their own goblin volition.
And you said I have some experience with this?
You have experience with goblins, but not experience with these goblins. These goblins look different in some way, and they behave different.
Okay. But they're on the land, and we're on the boat, so...
They are on the land. Well, they are in trees, and they are looking like they are gathering up ropes to swing onto the boat.
Okay, well that sounds like a problem for in a few minutes. Let's run in to like the captain's area and see if we can find the orb.
Great.
Keep our eyes peeled along the way.
Mm-hmm. So you begin to move your way through the riverboat. Inside there is fine dining seating, tables and chairs, stacked plates and cloches. Most of the lights are off. The only lights that are on are some emergency lights that shed a little bit of dim incandescent light, as well as some of the light from the Astrotorium pouring in through the window. The lighting is not great here. You're able to find a large wooden spiral staircase at the front of the boat, which takes you up to the second level. The second level features what appears to be like a dance hall room, as well as offices and crew quarters on the way towards the deck of, or towards the wheelhouse of the ship. But the wheelhouse of the ship is obvious to find. It's at the front, in the middle, but it is locked. There are windows at the front of the ship, but you would sort of have to get on the outside to get to those. It's a wooden door. It's a pretty sturdy wooden door, but it's not designed to withstand a shoulder charge from a strong, strapping paladin. Go ahead and give me an athletics check.
Sorry about that, guys.
Or an attack roll.
Muted for a split second. You said acrobatics?
Mm-hmm. Sorry, athletics, not acrobatics.
Athletics.
Plus or
4.
An attack roll if you're trying to attack the door.
Also +4. So
okay.
Let's just do an athletics check. Hey! 14.
Okay. Not a super strong door. You're able to shoulder the door open and the door lock cracks, and you're able to shoulder your way in and look onto where the captain and the crew would be driving the ship. It is listing aimlessly as no one is currently here. As you look around, you look and see a ship wheel. You see many levers, you see many buttons. And while you do so, you hear the chittering and yelling of the goblins as they take off from their perches in the trees, and at least some of them make the noise of landing on the deck of the ship.
Ooh.
So I'm going to draw my sword. I'm going to tell Gustav to go in and look for the stone, and I will defend the
Great.
Okay, I like this plan. Bye.
So you're now on the ship's bridge, as it were, Gustav. We're going to do some narrative combat instead of necessarily rolling for initiative here. Jen, you are in a long, darkened hallway with only a little bit of light shining through, maybe a 30 to 40 foot long hallway, and emerging from the ends of the hallway, you see these crazed shadow goblins emerge, moving almost zombie-like, but not quite zombie-like. They're not zombies. Moving not as random as a goblin should, not having as much fun as a goblin should. And they begin moving just as quickly as you would expect a goblinoid to move towards you, Jen, while Gustav looks on the ship. So, Gustav, where are you looking first?
What is closest to me?
So as you open the door, right in front of you is the steering wheel, steering
Yep.
column. There's a board of buttons and levers, and there are a couple of chairs to the left and right of the steering wheel. That's what's in your immediate as you look into the room.
Okay. I'm definitely going to go immediately over to the like control panel-y thing with the levers and buttons, and see if I can, if there are any labels or anything like that.
Sure. Easy enough to read. There is a left, right, up, down, and altitude control as well. There are buttons for turning the engines on and off. There are controls here, it seems, for headlights and some sort of rig mechanism for like a crane out in the front that you can see. And that's what's labeled.
So you said that's what's labeled. Does that mean there are things that are not labeled?
Yes, there are many buttons and many levers that have unknown purpose.
Those are the ones that I'm going to touch.
Okay. You're just going to start hitting buttons and pulling levers?
Yes, nothing with a label.
Great. Meanwhile, in the hallway, as the goblins are coming after you, music begins to play. Calliope music. And for those two of you who are not on the ship, you perhaps see bubbles and rainbows emitting from some of the steam columns. You also hear the sounds of something beginning to move deep within the bowels of the ship, and it shakes the boat slightly. But the goblins that are coming in your direction seem nonplussed by this, and they skitter, some on the walls, some sprinting full speed directly at you, Jen. You are beset upon by a large goblin in the space suit. I believe that you were waiting for them to be here. So if you'd like to take the first action, you may feel free to do so.
I was. They looked crazed and like they're going to attack me, correct?
Yes.
Great. Then I will just attempt to hit them.
Great.
And I had my sword ready, so hopefully we can not get swarmed. 17 to hit.
17 will hit.
I will not do my fancy strike, but we will do a d10 plus 2 for 11 damage.
Okay. This front goblin takes 11 damage with your longsword, and immediately is sort of cleft in twain. It is no more. It's in two pieces on the floor. The other ones seem entirely nonplussed by this. They are continuing to act rabid, and one of them is able to get within swiping range of you.
Okay.
Probably not going to hit.
16.
Yeah, they do not have a +9 to their attack roll. So the first goblin takes a big swipe at you with some claws, and it is unable to hit. But next round, 3 of them will be within range to strike at you as you stand in this doorway.
Okay. I'm going to make a stand. I need to get by Gustav as much time as I can, so I will just take another swing at the one that is already in range, I suppose.
Okay.
I'm going to yell over my shoulder, hurry up in there.
Yeah. And Gustav, you're still looking around for exactly what you're looking for.
16 to hit.
16 will hit.
Great. And another 11.
Okay. It also finishes that one off. It looks like there are 7 of them in this hallway, and you have turned 2 of them into minced meat. So 5 remain. While you're on the bridge of the ship and you've pushed some buttons, you have not identified anything perchance that signals to you that it is the lodestone. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna check out the wheel.
Okay. Make an investigation check for me.
Okay.
A 4 total.
Ooh. Looking at the wheel, does not seem as if there is a lodestone here.
All right, we spin it.
Okay. You spin the wheel of destiny. Please make a dexterity save, Jen.
Oh god.
God damn it, Gustav.
And Gustav, also make one, please.
Yeah.
I should have let you go with Astrals. Oh, what's up? 20. Not a natural.
Okay. 20 succeeds. You're able to keep your footing. One of the goblins falls over prone, but they are still up in your grill. And then how's Gustav's save?
11.
11. Okay. Gustav, you fall over. And you are scattered to one side of the ship as you fall over. Jen, I'm going to attack you a couple times now. That's a miss. That's a miss. That one's a hit. Okay. 20 to hit you.
Yes. Armor class 16.
Okay. They are going to hit you for 4 slashing damage. As they they take their giant claws, which are elongated and alien in some way. They feel unnatural, as if something has changed about these goblins, and they slash into you for 4 damage.
Okay.
Gustav, sorry?
I just said okay.
Yep. Oh, and now Jen, it's your turn.
All right, I'm going to take a swing at another one.
Okay. There's one prone on the ground if you want advantage. Otherwise, just a regular roll attack.
Prone on the ground, I guess?
Okay.
Sure. So I
Go ahead and
rolled
roll with
a
advantage.
12 and a 10.
Okay. Those are not going to hit.
Okay. Got him out of the way.
Got him out of the way, as that one is on the ground but skitters unnaturally out of the way, almost like a cockroach you're trying to step on. Gustav, you are scattered as well, and now you're on the floor. Go ahead and give me a perception check for me.
You rolled a 9, but I don't know what your perception is.
+3.
Okay, so a 12. Looking around the room from this perspective, you do not see anything that looks even remotely similar to what you saw at the T-Rex garden. It would either not be on the bridge, or it would be hidden somewhere on the bridge. But it is not within eyesight.
Let me see.
You can see this, of course, because there's light pouring in all the way from, you're on the bridge of the ship. The windows go fully semicircular around the front of the ship.
Gotcha. Can I cast Detect Magic?
Absolutely, you can. So you cast.
Lead with that.
Well, there you go. You cast Detect.
There were buttons.
Right, there's buttons to push. Why not? And also, if it was just here, listen, it's fine.
All right.
So you cast Detect Magic, which has a range of.
Has a range of 30 feet.
Great. You do not detect the orb or any magic other than yours and your compatriots within any range of you. In fact, there appears to be a lack. There's like a vacuum of magic around the goblets in the hallway.
Oh.
Sort of a negative space of magic. Not even none, but a lack, just a complete black hole of those goblins in the hallway. But you do sense the magical essence about 5 feet out in front of the ship from the room that you're sitting in. And when you look out the front of the window, there is a flagpole sticking out at a 45-degree angle from the prow of the bridge that you're sitting in. And on the end of that flagpole, there is a green orb.
Oh. Okay. And so there is a window in between, right?
There is a window, yes. There is not. This window does not open. This is like a windshield.
Yeah.
So yes. There's a flat pane of glass.
Yeah. Is there? Does there appear to be a way to get out to that from the, like, from the deck of the ship?
From the deck of the ship, it's up on this. It's probably 15 feet up.
Yeah.
There's no obvious way to get to the end of the flagpole.
Okay. And from the window that I can see, like, it's still like a good bit above that, or is it about? Am I level with it?
It's a little bit above that. It's at a 45-degree angle. So if you were to be able to go through the window in some way, it's 5 feet out and maybe another 2 feet up.
Okay, good. I'm glad that you're with me on this. Yeah, if I still have stuff to do, let me see. How would I get through this window? Um,
So you used your action, which was detect
Okay.
magic, but you would still have a
Yes.
bonus and you'd still have a movement.
yeah, I'm gonna move to the window.
Great. You are at the window.
All right. And I don't know if I can use the bonus just to like examine it.
That would be
Or if
fine.
that-
It is
Okay,
what
yeah.
you're looking for. Back to my bad guys. They're going to attack Jen in the hallway as they begin swarming even harder. Although you're in a narrow hallway, so they don't have a great reach at you. And one of them is going to roll a 17. Okay. I rolled better on damage. That's a 7. 7 slashing as they're able to sort of catch a little bit of your neck and your ear with one of their claws. It is your turn. There's a total of 5 of them. 3 of them tried to attack you. One ain't gonna do it, unfortunately.
Oh.
Well, one of them is on the ground, so you actually have advantage if you attack the one on the ground. Okay. 7 total is not gonna do it. I know. It's rough. So I let my players, if you have your own potion, you may use it as a bonus. You may feed it to yourself as a bonus action. Great. This is a healing potion, one assumes.
Oops, I was muted again. Sorry about that, guys. I mute from time to time when Hammy's acting up. Yeah, I will use a healing potion. I have taken a fair amount of damage. So 6. So I have 10 healing. So I go back to 19 total.
Great.
Okay.
Gustav,
Window stab.
go ahead and make an attack roll. Attack the window. Not hard to hit, but I want to see what the damage is.
So you rolled an 11. I don't know what the roll was for.
This is an attack roll. So
Okay.
easy enough to hit the window that's standing in front of you. This would be damage. And you're stabbing it with like a dagger?
Yes, I have a dagger. So D4 plus 2.
4 damage.
4 damage. All right, that's probably enough to break a window. So you're able to shatter the window.
All right, I'm going straight for it.
Okay. So you step up onto the windowsill. The orb is 5-ish feet from you. What is your plan?
So it's like just floating out there?
It's on the end of a flagpole.
Right. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna try and like kind of crawl my way up the flagpole, like just wrap myself around it and.
Excellent. I love this visual. So you're going to inch your way up the flagpole. I'm going to give you advantage on this athletics check. This is athletics, not acrobatics, as it is climbing. But you are a slippery customer, and you are able to use your reach your grabbers to be able to help you. So advantage on this athletics check.
12 total.
Okay.
12 total. That's easy enough to do. You are at the end of the flagpole, and the orb is in your capable cephalopod tentacles. Still attached to the flagpole, but...
Okay. If I can, then I'm going to try and remove it from the flagpole.
Great. Make a strength check. Or a grapple check, so do it at advantage. So this would be an attack roll at advantage.
Okay. So plus 4. So 17 or 20.
Ooh. I was going to make it be 20 because once you're out there, like it's easy enough to get to. You're trying to wrench something off of the end of a flagpole.
Yeah.
But you're able to do it, and you're able to put your full weight on it and grab it, and you now have it in one of your tentacles, and you're hanging on the end of this flagpole. I think that's enough. I think that's enough for a turn, don't you?
Yeah.
I'm going to attack Jen a few more times.
Boo.
That's a miss. That is a miss. That one's a hit. That one's a 23 to hit you.
Okay, that definitely is going to hit me.
And I deal the max, 8.
Ooh.
Oh.
Ouch.
8 damage slashing at you. These goblins are sort of like clambering over each other to try to get at you. They're not attacking you smartly. And your large swings with your sword, making them back up and reassociate where they need to be. They're moving kind of liquid-like in terms of moving away, moving back. They're ebbing and flowing with the pull of battle, but they're not attacking in any meaningfully smart way. But they are able to get a couple of hits in every once in a while.
Okay.
And it's your turn to attack.
Am I still trying to go for the one that's on the ground?
That's up to you. You also are in a doorway with a door that is broken, but it still has a door on some hinges. So that the option is there to try to close it. You can also cast any number of spells you have. You can try to move. I don't know what your thought process is here.
Yeah, I think that like going into the door and trying to close it, like if they just overpower me and get into the room, they'll be harder to deal with than in this hallway. So we're just gonna keep running this back. I'm gonna try to hit one of the ones that's standing and hitting me. Because the one on the ground's not attacking, right?
Correct.
Yeah, so
it's sort of getting trampled on.
Yeah, and we are I think going to hit 19.
19 hits.
Yeah. Phew. Okay. And oh god, minimum damage, 3. This is not going well.
Did you want to dump a smite into it?
Yeah. That sounds like a pleasant idea. We will indeed divine smite for deals 2d8 on top. Oh my god. Okay. I rolled on the 10 I rolled a 1, on the 8 I rolled a 1, and then I rolled an 8, so I saved it. Okay. So I was like, oh no.
So 10 more.
12 damage total for both.
Yeah. 12 damage on 4 dice is low, but you're able to kill the goblin. Yeah. And the radiant energy that comes off of your weapon shines in the hallway a little bit, and it casts the shadows away from these goblins, and you're able to get a little bit better of a look at exactly what is on their faces and what's going on in their minds. You look into their eyes, and they have no pupils, and it's entirely black sclera. There are voids where their eyes would normally be. And once again, they have no life behind their eyes. They have no... doesn't seem like they have wants or needs. They are moving not of their own volition in many ways. And they are just automatons in a lot of... in some capacity. But when the radiant light shines off of your weapon, you see that many of them are taken aback by this. And they stand back at this godly weapon being used.
Okay. Good start.
Gustav, what's the plan?
I'm going to yell loudly. I got it. And then just start trying to make my way back down the pole.
Okay. Like a talented stripper, you're able to slide back into the main cabin.
Always
and back up your
typecast.
compatriot.
All right. Yeah, I'm just gonna head back out to where all the action's happening.
Okay. If you want to attack, you can certainly do so. If that was the plan, or tell me what the plan is.
So how glowy is this orb?
The orb itself is not glowy per se. It is. It shimmers with like a magical essence when you cast your detect magic, but it is just simply a perfectly round, opaque globe.
Okay. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna say maybe we should leave. To see if we can just not. I'm not going to attack.
Okay.
Is there another way out other than the doorway or the hallway that I'm like basically in?
There's a hole in the window.
That Gustav went out, and then so I could possibly get out of the window that way. And there's like a deck below it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then I will I'll duck and turn into the room and see if I can shut the door quickly behind me, just tight enough to maybe buy myself time to get out the window.
Perfect.
Yes.
If you'd like to use the disengage action, you may do so,
Okay.
which means that my swipes will not be able to find purchase, and you are able to close the door behind you with no locking or latch mechanism. It is but a wooden barricade for the time being, but you are out of arm's reach.
All right, I'm going to try to not jump out the window, but sort of like grab on and like go down and hold myself up and try to like drop down that way.
Sure, make an athletics check for me.
I have a little bit of that. 4, so that's going to be 9. Gross.
Okay. You are you jump out to the windowsill, perhaps attempting to grab the flag or the one of the ropes that is attached to the ship, and to try to soften your fall. Unfortunately, it is not held in place particularly strongly, and you are going to take some falling damage as you fall to the deck of the ship.
Okay.
You're going to take 6 falling damage.
Oh.
And Gustav, what would you like to do?
I'm gonna climb out and take it a little easier. So like to try and like suction my way down the.
Okay. Make a athletics or acrobatics check at advantage
Okay.
as you stick to the wall like wet spaghetti.
I was
And then
trying to hurry because I thought you were already out there.
He came back in.
16.
yeah, I came back in to grab you.
Okay. So 16, you're able to slow your fall enough that you don't take any falling damage. But you two are now on the deck of the ship. As you are on the deck of the ship and look around, you see that more goblins in the Swiss Family Goblins at Adventureland are preparing to swing over. Some are already landing on the sides of the ship, clambering over the walls and the roof. And the goblins that were you were fighting will spend their turn breaking open the door and looking in the room, not seeing you there. And not understanding where you went.
Great.
But you are now on the deck of the ship, and the rest of adventure, or the rest of the Astorium of Fun is just off of the port side bow.
Okay.
And by just off, I mean there's like more falling damage if you just jump, but you'll need a plan if you're trying to get over there.
Gustav, do you have a plan?
All I know is we should not throw me. I don't know.
If we jump into the water, is it like the shoreline? Can we like?
It's just in the air, right?
Yeah, this is floating through the air. There's no water per se.
Oh, for some reason I thought this was like a little lakey type area. Okay. Well,
You're probably you've probably been on the boat long enough that you're getting close to the port or like the pier. So if you want to try to time it to jump to the pier, that's probably your best bet to not take any damage.
yeah, I'm gonna do that, and also while we're waiting for that, I'm gonna take that last little potion that I have because I'm gonna die.
Okay. So you swig your potion and you get ready to jump. Go ahead and make an athletics check off of the ship.
I'll take my potion in just a second. My athletics check is 9.
9. So you're able to mitigate most, but not all, of the falling damage as you take an additional 2. But you're able to mostly tuck and roll and land a little bit worse, but not entirely worse for wear.
Gustav got a 5.
Got a 5. He's going to take a little bit more falling damage. Cocked. That's going to be 13 falling damage.
Ow.
As you sort of launch yourself directly into this wooden pier. So you take 13 falling damage from a height of 30 feet, and sort of skid mark to a stop next to Jen. But you are both off of the ship. The goblins are swarming the ship, but you are not on it, and you have the second of the lodestones.
Woo! Whew.
Meanwhile, elsewhere, where are you two headed?
Real quick, guys, do you want to take a quick break here? I know we're about at an hour and 50 minutes-ish, so we usually aim for 2.5 to 3 hours, so this would be a little bit past the halfway point. If you guys would like to take a break.
That sounds good, but let's pick the destination first.
Yeah.
So where would you two like to go? You've done Adventureland, and you've done the topiary T-Rex.
Let's do the assembled ensemble. I think that would be good for the two of us. What do you think, Astrals?
That sounds good to me. It's got
Great.
assembled.
That's right. So meanwhile, as all of that excitement is happening, far away from the din of the excitement of the goblins, Airball's heading home. And we'll take a brief break. So, meanwhile, on a different side of the park, heading past some concessions and the various ticket booths, you approach many hay bales and sort of pop up, easy up tents and umbrellas to keep shade for those who sit and want to watch the main stage, whereupon the assembled ensemble is located. And when you look upon the stage, you in fact see many of your former compatriots. You see behind the drum set the chef. You see the band leader and Buttons. You see the bear that plays the bass guitar. All of them are standing there. However, they are frozen, like animatronics. They are not moving, not active. And you begin to approach. How would you like to proceed?
With a bit of nostalgia, I'd like to just go on the stage and then embrace the creepiness for a little while. Look at all the stuff I remember. I'll see the instruments on stage, the keyboard, and I'll remember my favorite song from back then. "Quit Playing Games with My Hard Drive" was one of our greatest hits. And I'll walk up to each of my old friends in turn and see where and see if I can snap them out of it. If they give any indication that they know I'm there, their old friend.
Sure. I would say go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Okay. 17.
17. So you were able to walk up onto the stage unimpeded, and you begin walking around to the individual band members and getting as close as you feel comfortable to any of their faces. And they bear no signal that they are sentient or alive in any way. They are purely animatronics. You walk around to the various members, and they're all just fur and cloth on metal. Nothing signals to you that any of them ever have been alive in any way. They don't look like they're in pain. They don't look like they're in discomfort in any way. They just look like inanimate objects. And as you walk around the stage, you can look at each of them individually. And as you approach the band leader and Buttons, looking into the clown face, and he holds the microphone in one hand and his cane in the other. There is no life in the face of N Buttons. But as you approach and are within about maybe a foot or two, the band music begins to play. And the calliope, the fun carnival background music that you love so much plays, and the animatronics move in a very mechanical, animatronic kind of way. The drum player doesn't fully make contact with the drums. The bass player's arm moves in a metronome pattern and doesn't actually make contact with the strings. And N Buttons turns to you and says, hey, Airball.
And Button, is that you? Do you know where you are?
Hey, it's me, and Buttons.
Can you elaborate?
Well, we're here at the assembled ensemble, and we're here to entertain. We hope you all have a great time at Myra the Magnificent's Astorium of Fun.
Right. Oh, so sadly, I'll push the off switch that I would probably know about if I had worked on him in the past. And what I want to do is I want to see if I can access their mechanical memories in the same way that I accessed the bear from the earlier scene. If I can see if there's anything going on in that brain of his that would tell me what happened.
Great. So you're able to locate sort of in the middle of the spine where the on-off switch is, the kill switch, so to speak, to power down any animatronics. And then you open up a panel on the back of the head of this animatronic clown and look inside. What type of check would you like to make? Or what type of skill would you like to use? What are you looking for?
The first thing I want is just a visual check, which I think should be easy enough. But then after that, I want to see if I can download any video from before everything went to hell. So
Okay.
maybe an investigation check?
Yep, go ahead and make an investigation check.
We got a 15.
Okay. Your cursory investigation of the inside of N Button's circuitry signals to you that there's not something mechanically wrong. Nothing is mechanically amiss here. Everything is all the nuts are in place, all the bolts are in place, it's well oiled. But from a computer standpoint, something has been corrupted in the memory or in the software. And additionally, that feeling of magic that you got when you were with the Astrotorium is not only absent, but vacant entirely. And so there's no damage per se. There is just something has been removed or erased or changed in some way.
So the feeling of that you described as love earlier, that's gone.
That is gone. There's no hatred. There is simply nothing.
Okay. And as for like the memory access that I tried to do, did I succeed with that, or is there just nothing at all there for me to get?
I would say make another. This would be a different type of check. Relp would be able to help you with this. So I would give you advantage on your intelligence plus proficiency.
Okay. It's an intelligence check?
Intelligence, and then add your proficiency.
Nat 20.
Woo! You
Nice,
keep getting
very
these nat 20s on the the story beats, which is cute. I was planning on writing this scene, so I'm going to have to just wing it. Okay. So you're able to get some video. The video that you get, the audio and video that you get is disturbing to say the least, I would say. It is grainy and corrupted, but you are able to get a first-person view of N Buttons standing on the stage talking to the fellow band members after a performance. After all the guests have gone home, there's no one left at the park. They're just sort of shooting the shit on the stage, talking about how New Capenna is really just a strange place to put down a carnival. But it seems like the people here really could use a good time, and even the adults who might otherwise take themselves too seriously or think themselves too old for a carnival and a circus really seemed to have fun. And they joke, some of them smoke, and they talk, and there is a break in the conversation and a chittering noise. And there's a silence, and the eyes of N Buttons looks off to the side of the stage where there is darkness. They don't necessarily see anything. And then there's chittering off to the other side of the stage, and they look in that direction. And then there's chittering above them, and they look to the rafters. And then when they look down in the hay bales and the area in front of them, you see some familiar faces, or a familiar face, as well as a familiar cart and a familiar couch. And looking up at the stage is the oil girl, as well as the cart that helps, and the couch. And they look at N Buttons and have vacant looks on their faces. There is black sclera with no pupils behind her eyes. And N Buttons says, "Hey, are you all right? What's the problem?" And she looks up on the stage, and with inhuman speed and unrealistic strength, she lurches forward 15 feet, and the video shows her face staring into the eyes of N Buttons with black sclera eyes that begin to weep black ichor. And she stares, and she opens her mouth, and as she does so, a voice that isn't hers emits from it as if it was a speaker and says, "All will be completed." And the camera fades to black. And as the
thoroughly
video
creeped out.
and as the video ends, I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Oh shit. All right. My dice won't even roll. One sec.
They're too
I
scared.
think you have proficiency in this save.
11.
10 was the number you needed.
Okay.
So you are able to pull back away from the video feed as ichor begins to form on the inside of the back panel of N Button's head. And you're able to pull away in time so that you are not touching any of this glistening oil. And as you do so, the members of the animatronic band begin to move in a more familiar but no less terrifying manner as they begin to wake up. And N Buttons, whose off switch had been hit, head swivels around 180 degrees and faces you and says, "Hey, Airball. Welcome back."
Good to be back.
We hope you'll join us. And he's going to attack you.
Yikes.
What's your armor class? Oh, I rolled a 2. It doesn't matter. So he reaches out to grab at you and clumsily misses, just completely flubs it. But it seems you have something attacking you. What would you like to do?
So everything else that reanimated, is it also attacking me, or is it just N Button?
Not quite yet. Right now, it's just N Buttons.
I don't want to hurt him. I don't know why I feel so attached to him. I don't want to hurt him. All right, let's just hit him in the face.
Okay.
Unarmed
go ahead,
strike.
make an attack roll. Yeah.
All right. Rolled an 11 plus 3, 14 to hit.
Need to remember what stats I'm using for this guy. You said 14 to hit?
Yep.
14 misses. Or rather, it hits, but it sort of deflects off of the metal beneath the fur that makes up N Button's face, and causes no damage. Yam, you've been watching this all from relatively nearby. What have you been doing this whole time, first of all? And then tell me what you're doing in this moment.
So during the moment watch, like I kind of see like Airball's got this like there's visual emotion on his face to some degree. I can see maybe like recognition, everything. So I'm gonna kind of just stand at the ready. It seems eerie out, like accepting the fact I've been in the fighting ring. I understand like there's always an eerie feeling before something's about to happen, and this just I assume I can in a sense it feels too quiet. So I want to stand at the ready. And after seeing the little bit of weirdness going on and the lunge out and the attack at my friend, I would like to try to advance forward and take the attack as well.
Okay.
Oh, no whammy. 14.
14's a miss. Harder to hit. The other animatronics begin to get up from where they are. However, they are slow and poorly animatronicked. It seems that they have gone, whatever was taking care of them, presumably the oily lady, has not been taking care of them, and so they are not nearly as good a shape. So N Buttons is the only one who is prepared to enter combat. However, the others are standing up. The bear takes the bass guitar and raises it like it's a great club. The chef from the drum set picks up the pair of drumsticks and wields them like daggers, and they begin moving in your direction. N Buttons, however, is going to take another attack.
At who?
That is at you, Airball.
Okay.
That is going to hit, I assume.
Armor class 14. Yeah.
So it's an 18 to hit total.
That hits. Yep.
As N Buttons swings at you with their fist, and this is going to be 5 bludgeoning damage. And he has multi-attack, so he's going to attack again.
Okay.
That's a 4 on the dice, so that does not hit. But he does punch in your direction.
Okay. We're outnumbered and badly outclassed, it seems like. So maybe can I use my Wand of Secrets to detect magic in the same way that Veggie did in the previous scene?
I would say that's fine.
All right. Do I detect balls?
You do detect a ball. You don't detect balls.
Okay.
You detect a ball. Situated in the sign that says assembled ensemble, featuring N Buttons. Behind the drum set, the ball is the period after the letter N.
How far away is that from me?
I would say 20 feet. But it's up on a riser. The drum set is like up on a small 2 or 3 foot riser. Then there's a drum set which has a chef wielding some drumsticks in it. And then the sign is behind that. So I would say 15 or 20 feet.
Okay. My speed is 30, so I'll just get all the way there, I guess.
You can, yeah. It would qualify as difficult terrain. So it would take all of your movement to get there.
Okay.
Your action was to use the Wand of Secrets. Your movement is to get to the ball. You could not have disengaged. So I'm going to get an attack of opportunity on you. That is going to be a 14 to hit you.
That's armor class is 14. I don't know if that counts or not.
It does. I hit your armor class for the minimum 2.
Okay, go to 8.
And you are up against the sign. You see the orb. It's plain as day in front of you. Beautiful red orb that is the period next to the N. But right over your shoulder is the lifeless, emotionless face of a large mustachioed animatronic chef wielding 2 drumsticks with no emotion in its eyes, but murderous intent in its machinery. That was Airball's turn. Yam, you are up with N buttons now, in fact.
Okay. I am going to engage a rage.
Okay.
So I won't be able to frenzy this turn, but I can do it next turn. I'm just gonna try to line up a good hit and try to take down this animatronic if I can.
Great.
So
Make your attack.
15.
15 misses. Armor class is 16 on this guy. So you get in your stance and you're ready to punch, but you're used to punching things that are trying to avoid you. You're used to punching things that are alive, that are trying to fight. This thing doesn't have its heart in a fight. This thing is just nothing. There's nothing here. And it doesn't register that it's getting swung at. It doesn't register anything and glances off of the metal plates underneath the cloth of the animatronic. It's now going to be the animatronic's turn. We'll start with N Buttons, who's going to attack twice at Yam. It's a natural 1. And that is a 13?
EC is 15.
15, okay. So similarly, sort of like a Rock'em Sock'em robot, it's easy to predict where it's going to throw its punch, and you are deftly able to avoid it. The chef in the back, however, is going to roll a 13. What's your armor class, Airball?
14.
14. All right, 13 misses. Seems like the chef is a little bit weaker than the leader of the band, and only gets 1 attack per round. And so tries to hit you with a drumstick, and similarly, it scrapes off of the back of your metallic exterior. It's your turn.
How sturdy is this stage?
Pretty sturdy, I would say.
If a big O4 to like, if a big O4 to do his best to bring it down,
it would take some doing. This would be a very difficult check. I would say a DC 20 to try to collapse a stage, or are you just trying to collapse the riser?
Whatever they're standing on.
So the stage itself is pretty big. It's like 25 by 15. That's pretty strong. I would say that would take quite some doing. The riser that the drum set is on, that you and the drummer are currently standing on, that might be slightly easier to be able to take down. But these they work on this stage. This is a pretty solid foundation.
Okay. Then I guess I'll move as close as I can to the exit while still being able to fire my crossbow at N button.
Okay. Clarification, are you leaving the orb where it is?
No, I'm gonna grab the ball and try to run with it.
So you haven't grabbed the ball yet, is what I was clarifying there.
Okay, yeah.
So you're gonna grab the ball and you're gonna try to pull it out.
I'm gonna yank on the ball. Yeah.
Great. Make a either athletics or sleight of hand check. Unless you are trying to... Well, how would you try to remove the ball? What do you think?
I think I would look to see how the ball was secured. Like if there's like a screw or something like that, and I'd attempt to undo it.
Great. In that case, feel free to make either sleight of hand or investigation, or sleight of hand or investigation. I think are the two that are going to work here.
8.
8. You're able to start loosening the ball. It is screwed into place or magically affixed in some way, but you're able to get it about halfway out.
Okay. And I assume that means I can't attack anymore.
You can attack. I would let you attack this turn if you'd like.
Okay, so now that I've exposed the ball a little bit, I will take a crossbow shot at N button.
Okay. If you're taking a crossbow shot, you are in melee with someone that you're in combat with, which means the attack would be at disadvantage.
I thought I ran away from him.
You ran away from N buttons. You're now in melee with the chef.
Oh, okay. So
behind the stage with the drum set.
I see. Okay, well in that case, we'll just punch the chef, I guess.
Great. Go ahead and make an attack roll.
All right. 20 to hit.
20 will hit.
All right, and I am going to roll a d6, I think. Oh no, it just does 2. There's no roll associated with it.
You're able to hit the guy in the head. It like swings its head like halfway around. You certainly did some damage to this animatronic. They are not meant to take damage like you are. You're a Warforged after all. These are party forged almost. And so you're able to deal it quite the wallop of damage.
Okay. And with my bonus action, I'm going to use a potion of healing.
Great, you may do so.
Regain 2d4 plus 2 hit points, which is I regain 6, which puts me back up to 14.
Excellent. Yam.
Right. Yam's ready to take a swing and a second swing.
Great.
25.
That is going to hit.
All right, there we go. 7 plus 2 plus 2. 11 on the first hit.
Okay. 11 damage. So you put a big dent in the chest of N buttons, and it sort of like caves in a little bit, and some sparks kind of fly out. It's still up.
I will go for second hit. 19.
19 hits.
All right. 2, 8, 12.
12. So as it caves in and its head sort of droops a little bit, you're able to spot an opportunity for an uppercut. And as you deliver said uppercut, N Button's head pops up almost like a Rock'em Sock'em robot on the end of a spring. And the clown head sort of bounces as it's knocked out and teeters and falls over backwards unconscious. Doesn't look like it's, you haven't killed this thing per se. You haven't destroyed your old pal N Buttons, but it is out of the fight, certainly. And Airball, I think we're back to you. So you can use more action to be able to unscrew the ball.
Are we back to me? I thought the chef was going to have to take a shot at me before we got back to me again.
Sure, I'll take a shot at you. Don't got to ask me twice. That's a 5 on the dice, so that's an 8 to hit you. the bear is going to come over as well. The bear with the bass guitar is going to try to take a swing. That one's going to hit. That's a 16 to hit. And the bear does the minimum. Take 3.
Go to 11.
All right. A bass guitar patang over your head. And you're the object of attention of 2 different beings right now.
We're gonna continue unscrewing the ball.
Okay. You have the ball now. Certainly spending 2 rounds getting it into your hand is easy enough.
Okay, let's rendezvous with Yom.
So if you leave combat right now, I'm going to have 2 attacks of opportunity on you.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. First one's the chef. Chef is a 14 to hit.
It hits.
Take 4.
Go to 7.
Bass guitar coming. That's a 15 to hit you.
That hits.
Okay. I roll a d6 and I add 2 to it.
Okay.
Take 6.
Go to 1.
Okay.
Ooh.
So they both hit you on your way out, but you stay up and you're now out of their range. And
Now can I shoot
behind-
at them with the crossbow?
You certainly can.
All right. Let's do it. Going to roll to hit. 10.
10 does not hit.
Okay. Pass the turn.
All right. I believe it's Yom.
Yep. Are they like 5-10 feet kind of away from me, sort of thing?
They're about 15 feet away from you, and they're somewhat difficult terrain away from you as well. Because they're up by the riser behind the main stage where the drum set is.
So in a 30-foot movement, would I be able to get at least close?
You would be able to get up to them with a 30-foot movement, yes.
Okay. I'll do full movement to get up, and then I'll engage with attack and bonus action attack with frenzy.
Fantastic.
Yom is ready to swing and go.
Let's see it.
23.
23 hits.
All right. That's going to do 17.
That's way more than enough to kill, or to not kill, but turn off, let's say, this animatronic. You're able to turn off the bear that has the bass guitar, putting it into hibernation state.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
put it into sleep mode.
Is the other animatronic within striking range still?
Yes.
Or
The chef is still there. So
Okay. I wasn't sure if it was like, it's 5 feet apart. Wasn't okay. Cool. I will do second attack.
Okay.
14.
14 misses. These armor classes are 15. So the chef is still up. And the chef is going to take its swing. As the other... I'm sorry?
At who?
At Yom. Because
Okay.
he's up next to Yom. And so... That is 11 to hit you.
He's 15.
Okay, so doesn't matter. So tries to take a swing, doesn't matter. The rest of the animatronic jam band that is off stage and the bits of the performance space that aren't present begin to awaken and move. You see a animatronic sort of like puppet boy thing that plays the keyboards begin to wake up from behind somewhere, playing like a Wurlitzer machine in the back. You see some other members of the stage crew begin to sort of make their crawling motion onto the stage. And not all of the stage crew are animatronic. Some of these people are goblinoids, vampires, human, and they begin moving in a similar zombie-like movement to the goblins from the Adventureland, but they are beginning to coalesce into the middle and head in your direction, but they are moving quite slowly, and so they are not there. And that is the bad guys round. Airball, you have there's nothing between. There's clear skies between you and the exit of the assembled ensemble, but Yam is behind you.
How many of the animatronics are left?
So there's only one currently tangled up with Yam. However, there are at least 6. I guess of the animatronics, there's only the one left on the stage. Whatever animatronics are left off stage remains to be seen. Maybe 2, maybe more. But there are at least 6 figures off stage moving towards the 2 of you.
Okay, so they're in front of me, but the exit is behind me, kind of thing? Like, running towards the exit is not running towards them?
Correct.
Okay, then we're running towards the exit.
Okay. You are able to make a fair escape from the assembled ensemble with the object that you wanted. Yam, you have one enemy in front of you.
All right. Given that I'm still in rage, I'm going to try to do my attack and frenzy attack just to see if I can be like, final hit, clear the enemy, and then book it out.
Sounds like a plan.
21.
That'll hit.
Hopefully this isn't ones. Say that again. 13.
13's plenty of damage to put this one down. Once again, you're able to cave in a specific portion and shut down the mechanism, knockout BattleBot style, and it begins to smoke a little bit. And now you may... these other beings are beginning to come in from stage left and stage right.
Yam's going to exit stage behind?
Yeah. Perfect. And you're both able to make it out of the assembled ensemble performance space featuring N buttons. And you are able to meet back up with your party. You now have 3 of the 5 lodestone orbs of the magic of the Astrotorium of Fun. 2 more to go next time on Degens and Dragons.
I admittedly started to think it was going to look like you were not going to make it out.
Yeah.
Like, when you guys were beat to shit and he was like, there are 6 more things on the stage, I was just like, oh no, they should run.
Mm-hmm.
We were fine.
This haunted house that I'm giving you is an exercise in cutting your losses, which I love.
I don't think we were supposed to split up.
Yeah, when you said that, I was like, oh dear.
Oh dear.
It's fine.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Live.
Well,
Fine.
I think the plan is now to meet back up at the pole, and then we'll be like, guys, that was hard. Let's do the next ones together.
Yeah.
Yes,
I did balance these for an entire party. So, you guys survived. Listen.
Yeah.
You guys... Yeah. Who's got the chips is what we have to say about that.
Yes, I feel like we were maybe supposed to like actually fight our way through some of them maybe, but we had this false sense of security that it was just like chilling on the pole. And we were like, great, the rest are going to be a piece of cake. So
yeah, well, you already fought.
I guess in retrospect, yeah, we fought the dinosaur already.
Yeah, that's true. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me for episode 4. For those of you guys in the audience, thank you guys for checking out our video. We really do appreciate it. And don't forget, if you'd like to support us, you guys can check out Cool Stuff Inc. and use code DGEN at checkout for any of your Magic or D&D needs. They also have like dice and sleeves and all sorts of cool stuff. And it lets them know that that we sent you, and they should keep sponsoring our show. So please give them a chance to earn your business. MoxRuby, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. This was a ton of fun, and I'm glad that we're still having a good time with this, and that despite the twists and turns, we're all on the same page.
Airball, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
Astrals and Veggie, I really appreciate you guys.
Anytime.
All right, we will see all of you guys next week for episode 5.